today's assignment, we are learning about the probability of simple events. So on the first section, number 1 through 6, we're using this spinner over to the right-hand side to find the probability. Okay, so we're going to write the answer as a fraction, decimal, and a percent. So we have 3 different answers for each one of these. Notice that on our spinner, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sections. So that means that our probability is going to be out of 6 for all of our different answers. Okay, so number 1, we have the probability of rolling a C. Well, looking at our spinner choice, a C is right here. There's only one C out of the 6. So our probability is going to be 1 out of 6. Now you can take this and put it in your calculator. So 1 divided by 6 is going to give you 0.16 repeating. That 6 is going to repeat over and over again. And then to find the percentage, all we're doing is moving our decimal place over 2 places. So it would be 16.6 repeating percent, or you could round it up to 17% for the percentage. Okay, number 2 is going to be done the same way, but this time it says the letter G. Now looking at my spinner, I do not have a letter G on my spinner, so my probability is going to be 0 out of 6, which is just 0, which is also 0%. So be careful, make sure you're looking to see what the letters are to see whether or not it's there or not. Now for number 3, it gives us 2 different choices, an M or a P. So I have an M and I have a P here. So that's 2 choices out of 6. So 2 out of 6. And then we have to reduce it down. It's the same thing as 1/3. Now 1 divided by 3 is going to give me 0.3 repeating, which is the same thing as 33%. Okay, so you're going to continue doing 4, 5, and 6 the same way. Some of them will say not, okay, not a vowel. So on 5, if we're looking at ones that are not a vowel, that would be all our consonants. So we have an M, a B, a C, and a P, because A and E are vowels. So if it's not a vowel, we would have 4 out of 6 sections, which is the same thing as 2/3. And then I'm going to have you go ahead and finish that out. What would that decimal be, and what would the percent be? Now looking on the next section, it says 8 cards are marked 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we have 8 cards. So that's the possible amount that we have. And it says each card has exactly one of these numbers. A card is picked without looking. Find the probability. Write the answers again as a fraction, decimal, and a percent. So the probability of picking 9, there is only one 9. So it would be 1 out of 8, because there's 8 cards. When we divide 1 divided by 8 in our calculator, we get 0.125, which is the same thing as 12.5% when we move our decimal place 2 places. Okay. You're going to continue looking through that. Remember, our possibilities are 8. So you're going to have to figure out of the criteria that they give you, what sections or how many numbers that are being included. So I want to look at number 9, the probability of a number greater than 5. Well, greater than 5 would be a 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So 5 out of 8 would be that probability. When you divide that out, you're going to get 0.625, which is 62.5%. So really be careful about what it's asking you to find. On the third section, we have a spinner, and this time it has multiple choices. So look, we have the cat appears 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times on the spinner, where the fish only appears once, the dog appears twice, and the bird appears twice. So you're going to have to really be careful about what it's asking you. So let's do number 16, the cat. So we want to know what the probability of choosing a cat or stopping on a cat, the probability of a cat. So how many sections do we really have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 sections. How many times could we stop on a cat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when we spin this, we have a probability of 5 times out of 10 of landing on a cat. So we could reduce that down to 1/2, which is the same thing as 0.5, which is the same thing as 50%. So there's a 50% chance of doing that. So go ahead and finish those out. And then on the last one, the word problem, it says, of the water lilies in the pond, 43% are yellow, the others are white. A frog randomly jumps onto a lily. Describe the complement of the frog landing on a yellow lily and find its probability. So if it lands on yellow 43% of the time, that's the same thing as 43 out of 100, because that's really what a percent is it's out of 100. So the probability of yellow is 43%, which is the same thing as 43 out of 100. Okay, so that's the probability. What I want you to find out is what would be the probability of landing on a white. I know it doesn't say that, but I want you to try and figure that out. What would be the probability of landing on a white if we know that 43% would be a yellow?